Hey everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, and I'm very glad to see you back with me. Grab your tea or a coffee or snacks. Today for me it's a black tea, and let's dive right in. So today I am working on a little sketch that I made a few days ago. I wanted to proceed with the character drawing series where you see the cute girls looking at you or like staring through the window that is actually some cool shape, like not a regular window. So shape of the day is stars. Because let's shine and let our dreams shine same bright as the stars do. So I start with my usual pencil sketching, and I'm going in right with my liners. Today I'm using my colorful liners. I'm going around stars with the brown one, and the hair and eyes would be purple. So in terms of technique, I am just practicing my usual routine and my usual style with lines over the sketch, and then going with alcohol-based markers as coloring. And I'm going to add a little bit of pencils for the nice cozy touch. And I had this idea in mind that I wanted to use some random Japanese word. I've seen some other prints that would have the Japanese writings on them or like around them. If it was up to me to decide what to write, if I was any fluent in Japanese, I would either write some quote or like a cool phrase or like a cool word or a name of a character if there is a character art next to it. But sometimes, you know, people, they think that Japanese or Chinese look cool, but they don't actually know what it means. So I decided I would just go with random word, and I chose for this one a word baka. For those of you who are watching anime, you know what that means, but who doesn't know, it means a fool or like a silly. In anime, it's usually used in a friendlier way. It's like calling your friend silly, like, oh, you're silly, you know. So I didn't mean it like in an insulting way, but like I found it quite cute to use this word for this particular drawing. So here I am with my baka drawing. And also sometimes I think it's actually fun to be this cute little silly. That's how I usually am, to be honest, in real life. Like most of my friends, they call me silly because sometimes I end up in situations that I am oblivious to some obvious things and my friends are just laughing at me. Like not in an evil way, but still. I can relate to this character that actually, you know, her eyes are full of naiveness and they're full of color. They're going to be soon enough. I'm on it. I promise. I'm a little silly girl, but I kind of like to make my friends laugh, even though if I look a little silly in their eyes, but that's fine. Like, I know they're not wishing me any bad and they only laugh with me, not at me. So as you can see, I made a little tea break and I removed the pencil sketch to make the drawing look slightly cleaner. And then I'm going right in with my alcohol-based markers and starting with the skin. I'm trying to color it in big sections as quick as possible, so it would be more or less seamless. I don't like to use Blender that much because I see the stains that it leaves and I don't like how it looks. So I prefer not to use that, but like try to make it seamless from the first try. But that really takes some practice. It took me a while to find this out on my own. And it's still not perfect, but like, it's okay. It's a traditional drawing. It cannot be perfect anyway. This imperfection also gives this a little coziness because it's a traditional drawing. Because, you know, when artists are drawing with digital media, they have all the time and all the tools in the world to make their drawing look absolutely perfect, like any issue whatsoever, and they can zoom in as much as they want and fix things. But traditional art is not the case here. We have to deal with mistakes, and I am embracing my mistakes because I'm imperfect and my drawings are imperfect and I'm not an AI. And that's what I'm proud of. I'm not an AI and I'm a living being, so let's embrace our humanity and our imperfectionism. So for color palette for this drawing, I looked up a reference picture and it was pretty nice. It was a picture of evening or a morning sky and it was filled with these beautiful peach, orange and purple colors. It got me so inspired, I decided to make a character out of these colors. And she kind of looks like a morning girl, and like there are some stars still left in the sky, but it's already morning. It's going to be lighter and lighter with each moment. For the hair and eyes, I'm going firstly with lightest purple color that I had in my collection. Then I'm going to add some shading to make it look deeper and more 3D. And then I'm going to add some extra strokes for nice texture. I've seen some other artists suggest to land the marker coloring a little bit different way, like to give it a little more lightness. But in my style, I don't see this as a good technique for me, especially because I like to fill in bigger sectors and I want to make my colors very solid. Even though I said before that traditional artists are tending to be less perfect because, yeah, I mean, you cannot really control that everything back. So if you make a mistake, you gotta work around it. That other technique, it needs like smaller strokes around the lighter areas and then they gradually fill in darker and darker. But for me, I tried it out and I didn't really like how the process was going, and I decided that I would stick to my own technique that works for me better. That's why I think you need to experiment with your own drawings. Like, you can try and study, try out new things that other people are doing, especially here with the internet and artists all over it. You can watch how they're doing it, and you can also watch me, how I am doing things. And of course, you're free to try whatever you think might work for you and then implement to your own drawing and style. And I wish you good luck with that, and I want you to improve watching my videos, so that's why I'm sharing like how I'm doing things, like whole process and what's in my mind. So if you try out this technique of mine, like the same technique that I'm using, it's not mine, but like, you know what I mean. Please leave me your feedback in the comments, how you like it, and did it work for you? Maybe you had found something new, and maybe you can share your experience. I'm glad if you do, because I can also learn from you. So as for now, I have mostly 2 colors in each section. Like, as you can see, I'm going with the very dark red color for the stars to have them a little more detailed. Some of them I'm going to fill in completely, and some of them I'm just going to give like little lines and dots. For the hair, I also have like 1 lighter color and 1 darker color. And I'm coloring her freckles as a light purple and then going in the shaded areas with the same light purple color, so the shadows look more believable. And you can kind of see like a little volume add up, like as soon as the shadows appear, they look more 3D. And then I'm going with a little bit of pencil texture to give this slightly rougher look. And it's also a bit easier to work with because even if you're using colored pencil, you can also erase it in case you don't like how it looks exactly. Or you can make it super light so it won't appear that much. Unlike marker, you cannot really vary the intensity of the color. You kind of have to work with whatever pigment is in the marker, unless you like layer a lot of layers on top of it and use different hues and saturation. So I also added some purple color on her cheeks. I usually do this with pink color for the blush, but I wanted this to be more purplish. I added some purple blush on her cheeks and on top of the pencil, so it would kind of blend more with the rest of the markers. It still has this pencil texture to it, but if you put the marker layer on top of it, it looks more blended in, as if you blurred it a little bit. Then I'm taking my brush liner to add more lines and thicker lines on her hair to give again more 3D look, because there can never be too much layers, right? And for the highlights, I'm using white gel pen. I'm putting some highlights on her eyes and on the stars, on the darker areas obviously, because you cannot really see the white gel pen on a light color unless it's super contrast. Here is the final result. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and it will help promote this video to recommendations, and I am appreciating every bit of support you give to me. Also, I would love to hear your ideas on what to draw next, so drop it in the comments. If you would like to see more of my artwork, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I would love to have you in the next ones. Bye bye!